Good afternoon. The August the 2nd, 2016 meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust will be in order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the July 19th meeting.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Are there questions or comments, corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, voting please. Minutes are approved. One of these days, after I do that, I'm going to look up there to see if they actually are approved. I always say that without thinking about it.
I got your back.
You go, okay. But I always say it without thinking about it, and then I think, what if somebody voted no? Anyway, the next item is a concurrence docket. Nothing on it. Next item is item for individual consideration.
Wait. There are consent docket items.
I miss a page. Consent. We did the consent.
Not yet.
We didn't? I thought that's what we just did. Oh, no, we didn't do it. I'm sorry.
I'd move the consent docket subject to individual consideration.
It went along with the minutes. No. We have a consent docket. I'm sorry. We need a motion on the consent docket. We have one. And a second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none. Consent docket is approved. Next item is the concurrence dockets, and there are no items on the concurrence docket. Next item is items for individual consideration, and that is a resolution from the GM to purchase hardware and software from Enterprise, whatever, for $1,700,000.
So Josh Morgan, our systems analyst, have him come up and he can explain to you why it's necessary for us to improve our SCADA systems.
Good afternoon. So the SCADA systems are the computer system we use to operate the treatment plants, distribution, lift stations, it's all that good stuff. So as part of what we're required to do every 10 years is to do a vulnerability assessment. We have some outsiders come in and take a look at the structure environment. How secure is it? There's always going to be room to grow and room to make things better at that level. So the most recent vulnerability assessment gave us areas we can improve on our environment. So back in December of 2015, we came to the trust, and we brought some of those issues that we have, and you authorized us to go ahead and design a master plan. So to design a new SCADA environment, an enterprise-wide application that is more secure, that is more reliable, easier to use, that's better for the utility as a whole. And that's what this resolution here actually authorizes. So 2015, we started the master plan design. We have the design. We've done work in coordination with Oklahoma City IT, Department of Homeland Security, water operations staff. It was a joint effort to design this master plan that gave us a more robust, secure system. Now we're to the point where the design is complete, and it's time to actually start procuring the hardware and realizing the benefits that we've been working towards this whole time.
Any questions?
So how long will this take?
So the implementation of this phase, so the resolution today authorizes phase 1, which is the Hefner water treatment plant. The current schedule is to have this implementation done by January of 2017.
Okay.
And the subsequent phases, the idea, this is the pilot, so this is just phase 1. So after phase 1 is done, we work out the bugs with the plan. We'll come back to the trust with a report on how it went, and then keep requesting subsequent phases to finish out the entire utility.
Okay. So we'll have Draper will be phase 2 along with the Atoka pipeline. Phase 3 will be a phased implementation of the wastewater plants. And how about the pump stations? The pump stations will be part of the distribution and be part of this phase. The water pump stations will be part of phase 1?
Phase 2,
design.
yeah. Phase 1 is strictly the Hefner water treatment plant, but actually converting the distribution system app will be part of phase 2.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the resolution. Voting, please. Resolution is approved. Next item is item from trustees. Anybody hadn't seen the turtle at Kitchen Lake needs to go by and see it. It's great. It's really nice. to the extent the water department the water utility had something to do with that, that's the land that we used to create that park out there, and the artwork is perfect, fits the park. It's really 119th and sooner. David, do you have anything? Next is general manager reports.
So on the general manager reports, we've got a number of improvements that we wanted to talk to you about. The first is that a while back, the trust authorized us to implement a new browser-based solution for customers to be able to sign on and look at their utility bill and their utility account, manage their account themselves, pay their bills online. One of the things we wanted to do was make it possible for business customers, which we have thousands of these now because we have a lot of the restaurants are also on here. And so they can now get online and they can look at their accounts and see their industrial waste reports. They don't have to call in and individually get one of our 2 employees and get those faxed to them or emailed to them. They can do that themselves. That's the first item. The second item is so you'll have a copy of the Standard & Poor's and the Moody's reports on our confirming of our highest ratings for short-term and the affirmation by S&P of our AAA, which we now have, of course, have AAA for both Moody's and S&P's. So that was great news to get that affirmation. The next item is a paperless bill presentment payment. On that one right there, we're now seeing a big improvement in the number of customers that are signing up for electronic payment. If you go to the graph, there's a graph attached to the item. It shows that now 70% of our customers are paying through some form of electronic means. We've also seen a big increase where we started the program for the unbanked customers, and we've seen a big increase in the number of participants in that through Western Union and the kiosks around town. So in just 6 months, 6.9% of customers have increased in that. 19%, almost 20% increase in the ones paying by email. So those things are now being accepted well. The next item is the monthly pro forma. We're down a little bit in water, but we're down more in expenses because we haven't been pumping on the Atoka pipeline as much. That's now started back up, and we're refilling Draper. On wastewater, revenues and expenses are all in line. That's all we have.
Any questions about that?
I move we receive the reports.
Motion and second to receive the reports. Reports are received.
I do have a question, though, that you don't have the lake level status report on this time, and I know Hefner is within a couple feet of being full, and I know that Canton is essentially full, and the southeast lakes are full. I know Overholser's about full, but tell me about the recovery on Draper. I know that we had the plan in place, and you may not have that, Brent.
The Draper, from Sam, you may remember this more than me, but I think it's sometime in January, February that we were supposed to get within a few feet of full. Yeah.
And so how are we down 10 feet now, 8 feet?
We're about 10 feet, a little over 9 feet, something like that.
Okay.
So,
It looks a lot better.
yeah. And what we're trying to do is to save electricity a little bit too.
You don't want to pump all the electricity during the peak usage?
Exactly.
Good move.
Yeah.
When we talk about full, we're going to fill it up as much as we did the last time?
Yes.
I mean, I've never seen it as high as we've had it the last time before we lost the line. I mean, that's the highest I've ever seen.
Yes, our usual goal is to get within 2 to 3 feet of full by sometime around March, April, so that we're ready for the summer because we start seeing a decline in the summer.
There's always going to be a little bit of dip in summer.
Right.
Because of the usage, but
Well, it hasn't appeared to be much of a slowdown in the increase. The only time it slowed down is a few days when we've had to shut it down for one reason or another. But it even with the increased summer usage, it goes up every time I look at it. I mean, I'm by there 7 or 8 times a week, you know, and there's always more water than there was last time. Good. Anything else? We're adjourned. Thank you.